This is Speak On It. My name is Malik. Today is Friday, April the 16th, 2021. There's a lot going on, and I need to just say it, although some people say we wouldn't know if you didn't tell us. But I'm telling you, I really wanted to do something with a bunch of young children, really, expressing themselves in a natural way. Now that I said it, I'm going to have to go back and find that piece and send it to Amari, because you got to see one of those pieces, because it will help us understand a lot of the adult information we will see. Now, this is Retro Current team in collaboration with the Austin Voice, the Westside Hand Opioid Task Force, and other collaborators. So we're going to start today with a little something about dope. A legend has made his transition into the afterlife, DMX. But one of the reasons I would think, and I'm not speaking for LaShawn Ford or the Westside Hand Opioid Task Force, but I would think that LaShawn Ford and many of those partners that live on the West Side understand the drama. And sometimes it ain't the initiative of the victim, the person that got the disorder, substance disorder. So I want to just share this piece here about how DMX got caught up. And then you remember, you recognize in your own life how you or someone else are so similar to DMX. All right, Brother Omar.
You know, I just come home from being in these institutions from the age of 7 to 14. You know what I mean? And this guy, Reddy Ron, I mean, he was like an older brother to me. And I looked up to him like an older brother. You know what I'm saying? I love this guy like an older brother. You know, I don't have any brothers, but this guy, man, this guy, he introduced me to what would be the best part of my life, which would be the rap. But he also, at the end of my life, is blessed with the curse. I didn't smoke cigarettes. I didn't smoke weed. I didn't do anything. I'm 14 years old. So he came back with a blunt rolled up. He likes the blunt. Like I said, I was impressed. I don't really smoke, nigga. And he passed the blunt around. And wow.
Oh, this is really bad.
And I had the blunt. Like, I never felt like this. Like, it just me up. I'm like, the f. And I later found out that he laced the blunt with crack. My take. Why would you do that to a child?
Right.
And this nigga like 30, you know what I'm saying? And he knew how I looked up to him. Why would you do that to somebody who looks up to you like this? I mean, the monster was born. The monster was born. I mean, and that's like I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Now, this situation here where someone he trusted, someone that might have been considered a mentor, someone that should have had his back, but instead he gave him crack. And a lot of situations exist similar to that.
So I'm just going to
But we're going to move on into a couple other pieces by DMX. And the thing that's a challenge is that so much of his work and his philosophy and his prayers are in his music. But in order to try to be in compliance with these damn social media pimps, you know, I won't use the music because they think you're trying to make money. I ain't trying to make a dime off of nobody's stuff, including my own. So we doing it in what I consider a very restricted way. So I'm gonna just give you a few of these conversations with DMX, and maybe you can pick up some of the wisdom that he was dropping. So go on, Brother Amari.
No, my last thought would be, I've had a good life.
Lord, give me a sign. Show me what I got.
DMX is a snarling yet soulful rapper who had a string of #1 albums in the late 1990s and early 2000s, but whose personal struggles eventually rivaled his lyrical prowess. Died on Friday, 9th April in White Plains, New York. He was 50. DMX was seen on video dancing along to the Jackson 5's Heartbreak Hotel just days before he landed in the hospital due to a reported drug overdose-induced heart attack.
A time for crying and a time for laughing. A time for mourning and a time for dancing. A time for throwing stones. A time for embracing and a time for avoiding embraces. A time for, a time for embracing and a time for avoiding embraces. What? Come on. A time for searching and a time for losing. A time for keeping, a time for throwing away. A time for tearing, a time for repairing. A time for keeping silent and a time for speaking. A time for loving and a time for hating. A time for war, a time for peace. I mean, like I said, it goes back to, you know, you're gonna start with a prayer, you're gonna do this with a prayer. Yo, there are no words more powerful than the book. And your prayer, your own prayer, will do you a lot better than someone else praying for you.
Did you know that the average
Well, we're going to move right along. He spoke for himself. God rested his soul. There will be another piece or two throughout the show.
Here's the question about these features.
Yeah.
Oh, this the new generation?
A couple?
You got little TJ on there?
No, not that dude.
Okay.
Not that dude.
Also new, like Rick Ross new?
Nope. I got
Meek Mill new?
Nope. I got Griselda Boys.
Griselda.
Pop Smoke.
Wait a minute.
Wow. Wow.
And hold on.
That's what type of new I'm doing.
Did you meet Pop Smoke?
No.
What?
The growl, everything, I guess it was just a coincidence. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I heard the song like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, Pop Smoke is you and 50 Cent baby. It's true.
Yeah.
It's you and 50 Cent. If you and 50 Cent had a baby, that's Pop Smoke. That's true.
That would be awesome.
You know what I mean? I ain't mean the other way.
But he would have the baby. He would have the baby. Yeah.
But they was having fun, and that's good. And I think sometimes we, as the public, see people, judge people, but we just need a little bit more patience, I think, before we jump to conclusions about a person's life or whatnot, or so forth. DMX, Tupac, those two individuals of that particular time, and there's been many others, they were speaking some things. And a lot of it has deteriorated in the industry. And we got a couple of pieces here, and we have to do it from show to show as time go on, because we can't get it all into this hour where DMX did a piece on the industry. And then there's another piece where someone else is explaining how this filthy mess that's related to nothing, this so crazy stuff they got coming out of these preachers' mouths. Man, when you look at it and you listen to it and you begin to understand a little bit clear of what the objective is. But DMX and some of the other ones, they had limitation. And sometimes the industry did not control how they presented their information. And that's why I have to salute those of that generation, those 50-something. But this little garbage you got now pretending to be rappers, pretending to be this and that, they little fakers. But the industry has them totally controlled. So ain't nothing coming out of them that's going to benefit nobody at the time of their transition if they live to get to 50. And so many of them getting killed in their early 20s. So much for that. Now we're going to come back to something a little local. And if we follow this agenda, we're going to look at this situation that happened over in Pilsen with the boy, 13, getting shot. One day last week, this week, they allowed the family to view the videos. And then on the same day, they stated that they was going to hold back the videos from the public. But yesterday, they released the video to the public. So some of this information is going to seem a little bit late, but the information is still relevant. So let's just roll through this, Amari, and then I'm going to come back, if they haven't taken it down yet, and deal with something else.
Please stop! Stop right now! Hey, show me your hand, stop it! Give me a light, give me a light, give me a light. Give me a light now.
Why you over here?
I was just passing by, man.
Where's your car?
I ain't even got a car. I gotta get that Cermak.
How we're making investments, how we're intervening to do better for our young people who are here, so that they can walk a life in their streets, in their neighborhoods, without fear, without feeling like they are prey, wherever the violence comes from, wherever it comes from.
You know, and I want to be sensitive to what's happening, but this situation over there in that area,
former Des Plaines
really seemed to have
joining
touched
us right now.
The mayor very deeply. Sanctuary City, you know, she's really touched by those people. And in a minute, we're going to see a video where some people from that area, some activists, were calling for a social action. I'm not going to call it nothing else. A social action. And I imagine she sort of hurt because they was asking for something as it relates to her and the superintendent. But she clearly has demonstrated to me as a Negro that she probably have more empathy for those sanctuary city areas than she do for the Negro colony. Because she really seemed to have found Rahm Emanuel's water faucet every time you see her about this particular case. Like she say, Chicago failed him. I ain't gonna speak on none of that. So what about all these others? Who failed them? Now let's listen to this former police chief. And he gonna say something that's naked, and you ain't gonna like it.
Bill, are you there? There you are. Thank you so much for joining us here on First at 4. I assume you've seen this video already. Let's start with this. What do you make of the video that you've seen released so far?
Well, first off, it's a tragedy, but it's a tragedy of the young man's making of his own doing. He ran with the firearm. You can see as he turns with the firearm, the officer is continually announcing his office, telling him to drop the gun, to stop. The young man turns with the gun in his hand, and he shot. He shot one time. The officer immediately goes into life-saving mode. From my perspective, from 45 years in law enforcement, 30 of them with Chicago, absolutely, it's a good shooting. It's tragic. It's unfortunate that the young man failed to comply. It's unfortunate that he was out at 2:30 in the morning, and it's unfortunate that he had the firearm. What's even more unfortunate is now the officer has to live with the fact that he took the life of a 13-year-old.
Bill, let's talk about that compliance part, because that is the sticking point for a lot of people that have watched this video at this point. If you back up, break it all down, roughly 2 minutes into that video, you hear that officer saying stop. 2 minutes, 4 seconds, the officer says, show me your hands. And then at that point, Toledo complies. But at 2:06, that 13-year-old is shot right in the chest. What do you make of that? The hands are up. If there was a gun, because that's really the sticking point here. Some people say they don't see a gun. Some people say they see a gun. If the gun is down, is that the correct response from a police officer to fire when someone appears to be in compliance mode?
He wasn't in compliance. From my viewing the video, and we've had it up on a very large screen TV, and I've looked at it on the computer and the phone. The firearm is still in his hand, and he is an active threat to the police officer. And unless you've actually been in that situation, you can't imagine just how quickly time flies, and the emotions, the circumstances, and the reaction, and it truly becomes a matter of survival for the officer. And I truly get the impression that there are a number of people who would wish that the officer had been shot before he shot this young man, but that's not the trade-off that the law enforcement officers have to deal with. The state of Illinois has a statute that requires people to comply with the orders of the police officer and submit to an arrest, even if they believe the arrest to be wrong or improper. We call it, in law enforcement, we say you comply and complain. You complain to a judge, you complain to an attorney, you complain to the chief of police or the superintendent of police through COPA, whatever the mechanism is, but you have to comply. And when you fail to comply, especially in a case where there's deadly weapons involved, you certainly take your own life in your own hands.
Bill, you bring up a very good point in terms of the officer's response in that moment. We had another guest on that said that there was no barrier between Adam Toledo and this officer. So that guest felt like the officer made the right decision in the split-second time that he had to make it. Can you talk about what type of training officers even go through for moments like this?
The training in the police academy is almost 6 months long, and there's a huge component of hands-on training where the officers are put in situations with either inert firearms or with simunition rounds, which are basically paintballs, where they're put in situations just like this. They have to make the life or death decisions in a split second. And the officers are trained. You can't train for every eventuality, but you can certainly train for as many as you can think of. And the training is bounded by the physical capabilities of the training center where the officers are at, and the staff involved, and the imagination of the personnel, because you want everything to be germane and realistic.
Oh, we can move on from here,
possible.
Amara.
There was no barrier, there was no cover, there was no concealment, there was no car parked in the alley where the officer.
We played that a little longer, and we did it because we want people to have a full understanding. Now we're going to look at this press conference, and I want you all to just listen to what he say. There's a lot in it, but I'm not going to contaminate. Just listen for yourself. Okay, Amara.
The video cams of the assassination of Adam Toledo, a 13-year-old boy here in Little Village. We are calling upon all the city residents and citizens to come out and support us tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be at the Federal Plaza, and we will try to have a TV there so we could show the video. What we were informed is that today possibly COPA will show the video to the families. We are known that the family is they're destroyed, and it's going to be hard for them to watch this video. It's going to be hard for us to watch this video. We've been demanding this video for over 2 weeks, and the mayor finally felt pressure enough to show the videos. We know that there's a little sketchy, funny things in this video where it might be edited, it might be destroyed, it might be prepared. They had enough time to edit it. They had enough time to tamper with it. So at this time, if evidence has been tampered, we're asking that the Department of Justice interferes and press charges against the mayor, press charges against the superintendent for interfering with evidence. We have been very peaceful. We continue to ask our citizens and our residents to stay peaceful. This is a peaceful protest. This is a protest about human rights at this time, and we're asking that all our citizens continue supporting us in a peaceful way. Tomorrow, we are not looting. Tomorrow, we are not destroying our city. It took us a long time to build our city, so we're not going to destroy it. That's not our MO. That's not our goal. Our goal is to change policies. Our goal is to defund the police, and our goal is for our community to get some justice. And finally, Adam could rest in peace with justice for all. It's been in our Constitution, and today we're asking that they respect our rights as humans. Today I would like to introduce one of our organizers, Armendaris, that will explain tomorrow's event.
I want to invite every single resident of Chicago. I want to invite every resident of Chicago. Meet us up at Federal Plaza tomorrow at 5 p.m. We'll be hosting a peaceful rally. We won't be looting. We won't be vandalizing. Nothing of that such kind. Prior to Adam Toledo's assassination by Chicago police, I didn't believe in defunding the police. But after all this injustice in the system, and most recent death of another brother, Dante White, we need to defund the police and fund our communities. With early child Head Start programs, after-school youth programs, and the reopening of mental health clinics. The mayor has defunded our own communities to fund killers. We want our money back to fund our communities. That's it, right?
Say your name and
your... Name Christian Armendaris, Kristian Armendiaz. Yeah, I'm part of the Little Village Community Council.
Hi, my name is Mara Castillo, M-A-R-A Castillo, C-A-S-T-I-L-L-O, and I'm here today as a member of the Little Village Community Council. And I'm here today because I believe no man should die in the hands of a cop, especially a child. Regardless if a man is wrong, he has a right for a jury. As a mom, I have 3 teenagers. And as a mom, I have the right to know what has happened to my children. I'm also here today to support the cause to support the youth. The cause to support the youth. I'm the voice of the voiceless. We need to start educating our community, and especially the youth. They have rights. Also, we will start a campaign here in Little Village, here at this location. And a lot of people don't know their rights. And that's why we're here, so they can know what's going on. They can know their rights to be protected. And these people are afraid to speak up. And I'm here as a member to let everybody know that we are Adam, and we have rights.
So our campaign began for the release of a body cam of a 13-year-old that got assassinated in our community. This campaign has now turned into a human rights campaign. People should know their right. They have the right to ask for a FOIA and ask for the information of all the officers that have hurted them or have injured them or have killed them. So this campaign with our members, we are going to start educating our immigrant first, our citizens, and everyone that lives in the city of Chicago to know that they have rights. We have rights. And that's what our goal is, to educate our community, which is one of the largest immigrant communities, but one of the most resilient communities, one of the most strongest communities. And we will not let another child be murdered under our watch or in Little Village. So tomorrow, we invite every citizen of the city of Chicago to demand justice. Demand justice for Adam, demand justice for every individual that has been killed by any police officer, yet here in Chicago or across the nation, because this is now a pandemic. It's worse than the pandemic. They keep killing our children and they keep getting away with it. It is time that we put a stop to this. It is time that we scream, we yell, justice, justice. We want justice and a little bit of respect with some transparency. So today we invite every citizen of the city of Chicago to join us tomorrow at the Federal Plaza at 5 o'clock. Be there, bring your friends, bring your neighbors, bring your dog.
All right, Omar, we can go
everybody. If we don't say nothing, they will continue.
Now, yes, out of this tragedy has come something that I haven't really seen in Chicago in years, if ever. Because the so-called mainstream media always portray all of the killing, all of the everything that's negative on the Negro community colony. But things like this been happening in other areas. Little Village, Pilsen, Humboldt Park, a lot of places. But the news didn't make it like this. They didn't show it like this. But what we see is that that community has elevated this situation to a human rights issue. That community is beginning to speak about defunding the police. Now, they was doing that before this young boy was killed. But the mainstream media didn't bring it forth. And when Negroes become victims of the police, that ain't important unless you were using this pimp, Black Lives Matter, to go out and play that. So it's good to see authentic community empowerment rising up. And maybe the whole vibration of how the police deal with communities and the Negro colony will change for the better. Let's bypass this piece, Omari, because we don't have enough time to keep going on over this. People got it. I mean, they've been seeing it. We could show it. But let's go to the next point because I know somebody else got to come in the studio right after us.
My wife, Roxanne.
Now, while this piece is getting ready, one of the reasons we really don't have a choice. You had the situation in Virginia where the lieutenant who, they had a hard time deciding who he was or what he was. They wanted to say he was a Latin, Negro, black or something. Basically just said he was a soldier.
Alderman, can you hear us?
Anthony Sally, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir. Let me start off by asking you, what was your reaction when you saw the video itself?
The video, I saw one of the videos. I didn't need to get into any of the others. It's a heart-wrenching experience to watch that unfold and to know that this isn't fiction. This is real life happening on our streets. The tragedy that unfolded in that alley is almost beyond description. But we know that it could have been so much worse, and the headline could have been so much different if the officer hadn't fired that single shot, as well as recognizing the fact that gangs overwhelmingly are bringing us to this point that we found ourselves in that alley that evening and every day throughout communities in the city of Chicago.
Alderman, I got to ask you, because we've been looking at this video as they come in. I'm clearly not an expert on this kind of thing, and it's hard to see. I haven't been able to get a close-up look, but to me, it looks like he's got his hands up. I don't see a gun. I was looking at tweets from you, though, and you say that the gun was behind his back and was lost mid-turn just before he was fired upon. Tell me what you saw.
Yes, Sally, there's a tweet that I have shared that shows the gun was behind him when he was turning, possibly coming out of his clothing, and lost when he turned and was fired upon. You know, the reality is that if an officer knows that there's a suspect, particularly a fleeing suspect, when shots are fired and we know that, you know, ShotSpotter recorded the shots, they are in an armed and dangerous situation. And any offender that makes those kind of movements is automatically going to be considered a threat to the officer. And I think that officer in particular showed amazing restraint with only one bullet and still trying to resuscitate the young man afterwards.
But Alderman, he's 13.
In a dark alley, when an officer knows there's somebody in front of them with a weapon shooting, you know, the headline could have been very different, Sally. The headline could have been, you know, 13-year-old man shoots and kills a police officer, if that officer had not taken effort to protect his own life. These are decisions that they have to make, and in this case, in 0.8 of a second. And my heart goes out to the fact that he is, in fact, a 13-year-old that was being recruited by a 21-year-old, six-time arrested gang member. And that is why we need to make sure that we call out the gangs in our midst and those that enable them, trying to steal our children away from the families and show them a different family that only leads to sadness and death.
Alderman, we heard from one of the community leaders down in the Little Village neighborhood who immediately called for this officer's name to be released, immediately called for this officer to be fired from the Chicago Police Department. What's your response to that?
I think the officer and his family are owed due process as this unfolds. If the situation is found to be where the officer was in error, then absolutely his name and identity should be made public. But if this is a justified shooting as defined by the law, then I don't think that there's any reason to publicly cause him harm by releasing his name further for the sole purpose of harassment.
Again, you mentioned that you also blame gangs for what happened here on this tragic night, and you had written earlier that silent gang enablers share responsibility for that. What do you think needs to happen?
You know, fighting gangs is nothing new to me or the communities I represent. It is well known what my views are on gangs and the efforts to try to recruit our children. And oftentimes our schools, our churches, and organizations know that gangs are doing exactly that, recruiting our children at ever younger ages into the gang lifestyle that ultimately will be their undoing. We need to stop protecting these gangs. We need to start calling them out for the danger that they are to our communities and to our youth. We cannot simply be quiet. We cannot just assume that hugs and kisses is going to change or more money for more programs. There are people who are genuinely committed to this lifestyle, and we have to root them out at every turn. We cannot afford to be silent because there will always be another Adam Toledo in the future.
Alderman, any other messages that you'd want constituents of your ward there in the 15th ward to hear from you this afternoon with such I mean, this is so fresh for everybody. Everybody's getting their first look at this video right now. Emotions are really running high.
You know, my message to everyone, my resident or not, is to take a step back and take a deep breath. This is a very traumatizing video. The whole situation from start to finish is traumatic, but we have to take a step back. We cannot, for 3 weeks, many on all sides of the city have been formulating their own opinions, and either today's going to prove them right or prove them wrong, depending on what those people believe. But at the end of the day, this city must be able to heal and move forward so that this tragedy never repeats itself. And if we don't learn anything from what has unfolded, we will continue to see this type of scenario play out in alleys and streets throughout every Chicago neighborhood for months and years to come. It must stop.
Now, you know, that's Alderman Lopez. He is also the alderman of some parts of so-called Inglewood area and other diverse areas. Now, there are other aldermen, but Lopez seemed to be more in tune with what's happening in his ward and what's happening in the street. And he seemed to be less reluctant to speak from a position of alderman. I don't recall hearing no Negro alderman never speak that clear about nothing happening in the Negro colony. Never. So maybe you Negro aldermen need to find this interview and look at what Lopez is doing. And maybe you need to do like Lopez is doing in the Negro colonies, huh? Here's one person that got killed. And they're handling it. But hundreds are getting killed in the Negro colonies, and the alderman says nothing. And all she got to do is look at them, and they bow down like. But she ain't looking at Lopez because she know he'll cuss her out because he ain't scared of her. So what she need to do is sit down with Lopez and some of you Negroes that maybe got a, I don't want to signify, I don't want to be negative and disrespectful, but some of you Negroes that maybe have any type of compassion for the wards and the people that live in your ward. Maybe y'all need to sit down with Lopez. And maybe y'all need to come up with a plan. You know what I'm saying? Because some of y'all know we have been down this road many times before. But then you got a newcomer or outsider, another carpetbagger to come in here, and now that's mayor. And you expect to solve the problems of Chicago. Y'all, it's hard to talk and not be disrespectful because we're dealing with such a disgraceful situation. But let's move on, man. Time is running out. Man, this hour, Amari, I'm telling you, this hour is just too tight. Yeah, let's show this here for a minute. We ain't gonna show all of this, but we're gonna show a little bit.
Hey, let me y'all say, we ain't tell y'all scary ass to be police.
We ain't tell y'all scary ass to be police.
Now, stop it right there, Omar. Stop it right there. Now, bring it back to me, Omar. No, leave it right there. I let the people see it while I say what I'm saying. Let them see this. Now, see, those Hispanics over there that was organizing that piece we showed, they was activists. But see, this is one of the problems in the Negro community. That is not being an activist what we see and what we hear. That is being an agitator. And one of the problems with the Negro colony is that these new generation, you go to the police, you provoke the police, and they kill your ugly nappy head behind, and then you think, those that's left, that the city's supposed to pay you because the police killed you for running your mouth and being disrespectful. That foolishness right there. And little nigga, if you see me on the street and you come to me, I'm going to tell you this to your face. You need to cut out this foolishness. You down there provoking the police, in the police face, pushing on the police, calling the police out of their names. What are you? Who are you? If the police slap you down and stomp you in the ground, then you'll make like you's a victim. You ain't no damn victim. You out there being foolish. An agitator is not what we need at this time. Yes, we need activists. But an activist work from a plan. An activist is working toward reform. An activist is trying to build something. Trying to create cooperation. But you damn agitators look like all you doing is trying to stunt. Being disrespectful. It's ridiculous. Tearing down, inciting riots and looting. You niggas need to go some. Man, I not care. Who put it on back here, Omar? I not care. Somebody need to tell you people. Don't turn this situation here into another opportunity to get this city tore up because you down there acting a damn fool with the police. Get out of the police face. Find you a better way to try to bring about change other than this. Don't talk about Martin Luther King and all them other people that was out there. They was not going out there with this agitation. Provocative. Like you gonna whoop the police. You ain't gonna whoop nobody. But when you push the police, you get in their face. Now that police decide to go human on you, go savage on you, then you clown like a little punk. Stop putting yourself in that position and stop putting the Negro colony in that position. If you're going to be an activist, act like you're a responsible human being. But if you're going to be an agitator, then be prepared when the police whoop that ass. I'm through with that. I saw this mess this morning because what happened is this. The Hispanic community is calling for peace. But these operatives in the community, these operatives that are being used to come out and create this foolishness. Y'all need to go somewhere, man. And I'm surprised. And, you know, I sort of know some of y'all know who sent you. But the bottom line is this here. Since you other so-called elders don't tell these youngsters and ain't told them, I'm telling you. Boy, you ain't an activist. Girl, you ain't an activist. You a damn agitator. And the press, the media, you need to get it straight. Stop calling these provocateurs activists. Call them what they are. Agitators. And that agitation is getting this whole city disgraced, destroyed. If you can't come with something positive, if you can't come to build, go sit your little behind down. And all you niggas that been calling yourself leaders all these years, and you let these same young people that don't know no better do the same thing over and over. This is not a type of situation where you have people playing games, being foolish. This is a life and death type of situation. So if you don't know what you're doing, go somewhere and let somebody teach you what you're doing before you step your butt out here with this type of foolishness. You don't go get nothing changed standing in the police face, signifying. Get out of here with that foolishness, boy. Let's move on, man.
Get beat up in high school. Keep the money. Fuck, we don't care about the money. Y'all been robbing people, man. We've been doing that. But take away your immunity. Come hang with the dogs. Come hang with the big dogs. Y'all big dogging like that. Shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. For everybody, buddy. Mr. Sanchez. Counties for everybody, buddy. I can't say that. I might need America. This is America, dude. I know how to protect myself. I'm government. Yeah, you can't stand it. We can get on your line and say, fuck them.
All right, Omari, let's go on from this foolishness. This is foolishness. Kids play. You know, boy, y'all really lucky. Because, you know, in real life, you don't do this. In real life, grown folks don't play with kids like this.
How do you top the perfect cup of
in real life,
with the perfect...
You little rascals, go to Africa somewhere. Go to the island somewhere and pull these type of stunts and see how fast they'll have you standing before a fine squad killing your butt in public view. Who are you little niggas? Huh? Stop playing. That ain't being a man or a woman. That's being a kid. And if you're going to be a kid, you have no business trying to step up and call yourself leading nothing. Pathetic. Let me leave it alone. Keep going, man. Let's go on to the next one.
Someone came running at the You better walk away. You walk away. Someone came running at the You better walk away. You walk away.
Here in Columbia, South Carolina, the man yelling "walk away" is Jonathan Pentland. He is 42 years old and a U.S. Army sergeant.
I didn't do anything. I'm about to do something to you. You better start walking.
The black teenager named DeAndre lives nearby and says he was out for a walk.
You're in the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker. Get out.
Throughout the 3-minute video, Pentland yells obscenities and threatens the teenager.
You know what? Get the hell out of my face.
Get out of my face. You walked up to me. Check it out, motherfucker. I ain't playing with you.
Pentland has now been arrested and faces a charge of third-degree assault.
We're not going to let people be bullies in our community, and if you are, then you're going to answer for it. And that's what we've done in this case.
Initially, sheriff's deputies issued a citation to Pentland for slapping and cracking the teenager's phone. Then, after this video began to circulate,
Someone came running at you better walk away.
they added the charge of assault and battery.
One of the most valuable pieces of evidence we had was the video. I want to thank whoever's responsible for that video. Thank you for doing that.
If convicted, Pentland faces up to 30 days in jail and a $500 fine. And for Pentland, that won't be the end of this story. Hello everybody, I'm David Schuster, and thanks for watching. According to social media accounts connected to Pentland, he has been stationed at nearby Fort Jackson for 2 years and has worked as a drill sergeant at the garrison. The 53,000-acre complex trains 50% of all U.S. soldiers and 60% of women who enter the Army each year. Fort Jackson's commanding Brigadier General Milford H. Beagle Jr. said the sergeant's actions are by no means condoned by any service member. Beagle said Army officials have begun our own investigation and are working with local authorities. In other words, Pentland may lose his job. And if the Army sergeant thought he could keep his home neighborhood looking a certain way before this incident, not anymore. Civil rights protesters have descended on his house asking for an explanation.
Come on! We want to talk to you! Talk to us! We just want to talk! We want to understand some things! That's it!
The irony in all of this is that a U.S. Army sergeant interacts with a wider variety of ethnicities than anybody in America. The Army is one of the most integrated institutions we have. A drill sergeant at Fort Jackson works with African Americans every day. The difference in this case is that Sergeant Pentland was at home, not at work, and he saw an African American teenager, not an Army recruit or commanding officer. Perhaps when it comes to teenage black men, Pentland is racist, and there may be little our society can do to change the perceptions and actions of some people like him. But there's a lot we can do to get justice. As the sheriff noted, keep those cell phones going. The video made all the difference in this case. And if every interaction must now be recorded, so be it. The existence of a video possibly getting posted to social media will not, of course, stop some people from acting shamefully and illegally. But the presence of a camera for some people may act as a deterrent. Furthermore, the days of a white man said this and a black man said that, those days are mostly over. Now the proof of what really happened will be in that video posted on social media. Technology is helping us. And whether we're holding a police officer or Army sergeant to account, our society is making progress.
Well, I don't doubt that. When we see what happened in Minnesota the other day with that policeman that couldn't tell the difference between a gun and a taser, technology got her removed and a case. We see what happened in Virginia, where the lieutenant was dissed by those two creatures in uniform. Technology got one of them terminated, and hopefully we'll get him a case. But right now, we're going to look at something else to show you the different styles of policing as it relates to other people and Negroes. We're going to just show you a couple of these, maybe, but we're going to move fast.
He said he's not going to shop the car, so.
Okay. That's all right. Just keep an eye on it. Just get the right fit. Just start with that. Put your hand on the steering wheel. No. What are you reaching for?
Oh, whoa. Hey, get out of the car, man. You got a gun right there.
Whoa.
Get out of the car.
There's rights to this. There are rights to this.
Do you have a concealed
There are
carry?
rights there.
Get out.
Hold up right there.
It's open. My hands are up. My hands are up. No,
you gotta.
This is on body cam. You have a body cam, sir?
Put
Do you
your
have a body
hands
cam?
over your eyes.
Do you have a body cam?
Put your hand over
Do
your
you
eyes.
have a body cam, sir?
Put your hands over your eyes.
Yeah, you're gonna
I will send this dog on you.
I will shoot you if you do.
Don't fucking drop that gun.
You have rights.
Put your hand.
You have rights too. You have rights too.
Don't you dare.
You have rights. You
Right.
can't
Don't you
shoot me
dare.
here.
You
This is
need to be-
unconstitutional. You know that.
Right, you have a weapon, okay?
Yes, I
Don't.
do. And it's
Don't.
What I need you to do.
Hey, you can't be
listen.
grabbing me on this. Is also unconstitutional. Body cam request.
Can you quit yelling so I can talk to you.
Get a gun
need more
for me,
units
sir.
right now.
I need you to relax for me, okay?
I will shoot you if this process. If that's a threat and so open that you have no body cam. You know this?
He has a
My
body
hands are open. My hands are open.
Okay.
My hands are open.
You need to get out of the
No,
car
I
so
do
we
not.
can remove you
I
from
do
that
not.
weapon.
You cannot. No, it is constitutionally owned. I see that.
You have a concealed carry permit.
It's not concealed. Yes, you can see the weapon. It's right there.
Don't
body
do
cam.
it.
Body cam. What are you afraid of?
Don't do it.
I'm not doing anything.
Do me a favor. Just please step out of the car. That's all we're asking you to do.
Oh, you're asking me not to use that gunshot.
Yes.
Conceal your weapons, please.
No.
This is how we treat each other civilly. This is how we act civilly. You know
Sir.
this. Right eye! Right eye!
You got cover?
No. Just
Yes, we do.
don't. Just
Do
please.
you have body count?
Please.
Do you have body do not forcibly remove
Do not.
me from
Don't.
the- No,
Do it.
You know
Don't.
that. You know that. It's not
Please.
I
need you to get out of the car.
Then oust.
Hey, I see double blue, sir. Are you gonna shoot me on double blue?
Just relax.
No,
Please
just relax.
please get out of the car.
There's rights to this. You know there are rights to
Listen,
this.
we can figure this out.
We can talk about this,
Oh,
okay?
this how
But
you
right
feel
now,
about this.
we can't
Listen.
talk about it with you not listening to us.
Just-
Well, now listen, you are forcibly grabbed.
All I'm asking you to
You're
do,
violating my rights right now. Let go of me!
You just put your hand on a gun,
sir.
Whoa, no, you pulled a gun on me unconstitutionally.
Please.
And I did my in response.
Oh, we don't want
Please.
to do this, man.
Just get out of the car. I'm just asking. We'll get this figured out. Just come out and
Okay,
just get out of the car.
you release me now.
We can't do that.
Release it. I have Second Amendment rights, damn it.
Okay. Just get out of the car. Come on. Come back here. We'll
Excuse
talk
me?
about it.
Excuse me. This right here is a reason
We'll
to
get
defend
this-
myself, cast a doctrine. You know that.
We'll get this figured out. Don't do it. Please. Just come on.
Get out of the car, sir.
Just get out of the car. Just step out.
The gun's down.
No, just step
Get
out.
out of the car.
Just step out of the car. Just don't do it.
I have rights.
Get out of the car.
You're on double blue. You know what's gonna happen, right?
Just stop.
You need to get out of the car. That's
No,
a
I
lawful
don't.
order. You're going to go to
What,
jail.
a gunpoint? Oh, take me to jail then. Go ahead.
Just
gun-
come
Now
on.
you're obstructing.
I can't.
No, you're obstructing. You're pointing a gun at me, sir. Right now, my life's in threat.
Okay. Well, we have.
I don't even see body cam on this, sir. I'm just gonna drive away.
we-
I'm not gonna bother anybody.
No, you're
Hands
not.
on the seat.
Don't do this.
No.
Don't do it. Don't.
Now, see, y'all think people be just talking crazy. Whether that was fake or not, you get the point. Now think, boy just got killed in Minnesota. Situation down there just like that. Lieutenant in Virginia down there got killed because he was dark skinned. Situation just like that. White man here drive off. He ain't dead. So I don't know why people seem to think that we just be talking. Oh, it's real. And like that sergeant, he's drill sergeant, so he was treating that young Negro boy like he was in the army. I ain't gonna get into that because I'm like everybody else that saw what we saw. The truth of the matter is, that drill sergeant was out of line. But white folks feel like that. Now you're finna see something else that do happen, although it's part of a movie. But then you're gonna see something else that's not part of a movie. I'm giving you a heads up on this so you don't be thinking that we trying to come up with false news to make a point. No, we just trying to bring understanding and clarity so maybe you will pay attention and you won't find yourself getting hurt or getting killed. All right, Omar.
I don't like it here. Baby. Leave it. Mrs. Emery. Do you have any intention of cleaning up mess? This is not how civilized people live. Tell me about it, Mrs. Wendell. Niggers. Come on. Better.
all right, we better let it go before they cut it because of the music. But you get the point. The point is, that's what it's going to take to stop it. You got to hit back. You got to slap the taste out their mouth. It's a simple matter. That's what you do to each other. All right, you got about, okay, Brother Omar, let's do this one right quick. While you're getting that done, this is another piece where you will see how police deal with their own kind. And what happens is that sometimes, yeah, let's just see this.
Jerry, you're gonna get in trouble. Jerry, they're gonna hurt you. Jerry. Jerry, don't do it. Jerry, don't do it.
But I think they got the flavor to that one, Omari. You know, America is a real interesting place to be, huh? They killed Negroes for nothing. Look what white folks do with white folks. Dude took his vehicle, took his baton and whooped him. Now look at this one. Another situation of being a Negro. Here's a little light-skinned creature. Now watch this.
You need to pay for that.
Ma'am, I just paid for this Gatorade. I did not take anything out of the fridge.
I just watched you steal it.
Ma'am.
What are you thinking?
Wait, whoa.
No.
I did not steal
No, you're not
anything.
going anywhere. I watched you steal it.
You watched me steal what?
I watched you steal this Gatorade. You opened the fridge, took it, and walked out.
Bro, are you serious?
Yes, I'm seeing this. I'm filming this.
In the store and bought this Gatorade.
I've been in that store. I was standing right there, and I watched you do it.
No, you did not watch me do anything. If you was really
I had
watching,
2 eyes. I watched it happen.
I cannot believe
Are
this
you
is happening.
crazy?
I cannot
Excuse me,
believe
did
this.
you call me crazy?
Man, why are you even attacking us right now?
Stole. That's not
We
okay.
didn't steal anything.
Anything. We bought this. We were just in the store. We just
I
bought it.
wanted to give you benefit of the doubt, but you walked out and I watched it. You were yelling.
Oh my gosh.
You need to pay for that.
Could you please leave us alone, ma'am? Come on, man.
Let's go.
No, we're not leaving you alone at all.
What are you doing?
What is your problem?
You cannot do this to us, ma'am. You
can't do that to that clerk.
Listen, we've had a long day. We walked into the store. We paid for this Gatorade.
No,
we did not steal anything. You're wrong. Whatever you saw.
What is your?
What
Oh
I
my
saw
gosh.
with my own 2 eyes, you opened up the fridge. You had 2 in your hand. You were gonna steal 2. You
Look,
got 1 back.
Ma'am, could you please back up? You're in my personal
I
space.
don't care what I'm doing.
You're in my
Oh
personal
my gosh.
space. Like,
You ever heard of social distancing?
Oh my gosh.
You ever heard of social distancing? 6 feet apart?
Please.
No, it
This
doesn't.
is
No, when you're
uncalled for. I don't
breaking the
know.
law, it doesn't
We're not
matter.
breaking any law.
Bro, come on.
Oh my gosh. What is your problem?
What are you talking about? What is your problem?
Can you just not afford it? I'm sorry. Like if you can't afford it, how many ask for
What makes you think I can't afford a Gatorade
Because
at
you
$2?
stole it.
Oh my
We didn't
God.
steal
You did
nothing.
not steal
You're
anything.
taping. How did you not get him?
You know, I'm filming you. I'm filming
steal
you.
Okay,
anything.
film me.
You're
Film
gonna
me.
be
Film
all
me.
over Facebook. You know that, right?
We didn't steal anything.
Huh?
Is it because,
Yeah.
Why do you think I stole this? Is it because the way I'm dressed or something?
But it has nothing to do
Is
with
it
the way
because
you
of how
look.
I look?
It
Like,
has nothing to do with the way you look. It's what I saw in my eyes. You took the bottle and walked out.
We didn't do nothing.
right now, bro, come
No, this
on,
is
let's
not
go.
okay. Your parents didn't
You're
raise you right.
still
This is
following
okay.
us. Why are you following us?
Where are you even going? Where are you even
What
going?
is this? We're going to the car.
What car you probably stole?
We didn't steal no
Oh my
car.
God, why
What?
are you doing this? Come on, bro.
You hear her? My Lord.
This is ridiculous right now. This is ridiculous. Look,
You need to go back and pay for that.
ma'am, I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm not trying to be.
You
I'm
already
not trying to be
disrespected
belligerent.
You disrespected everything. You disrespected the store, the clerk, me,
You?
yourself. You're disrespecting
How did I
yourself.
disrespect you?
You're disrespecting us.
So what are you talking about right now?
Ma'am, I didn't. You're accusing me of stealing something
I'm
that I
not
paid
accusing.
for.
I'm telling you what you did.
I literally paid for this drink. I did not steal anything.
Okay,
Mike,
so
come
what
on.
was
Yeah.
Let's
Oh, let's go.
No, no.
What are you
Whoa,
doing?
whoa.
What are you doing? You cannot do that.
Why are you blocking our car? What
This
is your
my car.
problem?
You cannot do this.
That you probably stole.
What is your problem?
Why are you keep saying
Not
that?
until you
Come
pay for that. Not until you pay for that. What
Oh
was the clerk
my
say?
gosh. Do you want me to prove to you that I paid for this Gatorade?
Go back in
Come
there.
on.
My God, look, I can't wait till you find out what's the.
You really think I stole this?
I'm recording. I can't wait to see your reaction.
You really think I stole this? Come on.
We didn't steal nothing.
I'll show you right now.
Oh my God. We didn't steal.
Keep recording.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm recording. It's gonna be all over Facebook.
Didn't I buy this Gatorade?
Yeah. No. I watched him.
I told you I bought this Gatorade. It's crazy.
Now, see, boy, hello thing being a Negro. Everybody just declare themselves to be deputies and shit. All in your face, all in your business. But that sister that had the little girl that slapped taste out of that white woman's mouth in the movie, now, I'm not saying that's what you should do, but I'm just saying, you need to get some of them full-face masks and start handling your business. All right, brother, let's run through this. We got about 3 minutes left.
Wings but can't fly. First things first, I will until I'm stretched in a hearse. Niggas don't get me, but I ain't complicated. See, thing about the truth is, most people hate it. Didn't ask God for what I wanted, I waited. Till he felt like I earned it, and he gave it. Anything worth having is worth earning. The true nature of man is definitely worth learning. That's why you're concerning yourself with discerning whether it's worth saving is usually worth burning. I knew from the start this life wasn't mine. That's why from the start I put my life on the line. Gangsters run around crying about dying. I got faith. I'ma go when it's my time.
That's powerful. Powerful piece. May he rest in peace. There's 2 pieces here. Do you have them, Amara? That piece with the little boy gambling and the piece where DMX is. The little boy gambling, we ain't in with that. That was a good piece by DMX. We don't have to run another DMX.
My point.
Yeah, that's one.
Your point 10, bro. How's your first point? All right, come on, your point 8. Come on. You finna 7 out anyway. What I tell you?
He told him to grab it when he hit 7. He gave him $2. Don't get the $2 up, man.
You gotta teach him that. He don't know. I know, nigga. You don't know no baby Joe.
You don't know no baby Joe. Man, nigga fucked this, man.
All right, Amara. That's enough of that. Yeah, I showed you that. Like I told you in the beginning, we were going to show a lot of those clips that's related to children that age. That's what we wanted to do.
Father God, I am.
Yeah, do this one, Amara.
Just learning how to pray. Bear with me. First, I thank you for the life of everyone that's here with me. Then I thank you for the love you give me. Why? I don't know. I don't deserve it, and it hurts inside. Many a nights I cried and called your name out loud, but didn't call you when I was doing good, too proud. And still you gave me love. I wasn't used to that. Most of the people that gave me love ended up taking it back. That's something new to me. So I'm asking you for time to adjust. Let me make it there. I will be one you can trust. What I stand for, I put my life on. I do. I guess what I'm asking is, show me how to stand for you. And I will rap for you, sing for you, reach for you, preach for you, teach for you. I will love you like you love me, unconditionally. And I will always be prepared for whatever the mission will be. Give the nutrition to me, and I'll properly digest it. And when I give it back, I will show you word well invested. And whenever I go, before I go, let me give. Thanks to you, Lord, for my birth, for every day that I've lived. You gave me a love most of my life I didn't know was there. I give you my life because you cared. Amen.
Amen.
You write your own prayers. You're very prolific. You're so prolific.
Now, see, DMX said when he was 14, he got deceived. Thought he was getting a joint and he got a crack, laced joint. Then we look at that little boy there, they think it's a joke. But they are doing that little boy like the dope man did DMX. They're turning him into something that probably is not going to turn out too nice. But that's what's happening. And maybe next week, I can't say so much be happening, but maybe next week we'll try to go back and open up that little piece and use those other little children, how they were responding of the same age group. But here we are witnessing street life being taught to that little child. But then we have people in the community that know that. People in the community that consider us bringing that to you being a little bit too in your face. No. Trying to pretend that these things are not happening won't change it. The only way to change it is to change it. And until next week, a lot for you. Peace and good health.